Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, straight up noon as it were. Today we're chatting with the Better Business Bureau's Josh Planos. Again, we're chatting about a company claiming to operate in Derby, Kansas. So a company here in the Midwest that is kind of duping customers in this region. So it's an investigation that they've opened into Mike's Customs. This is the shoe company. So apparently they're selling custom footwear. They're accused of failing to fulfill multiple orders, leaving customers without the products they paid for, right? So here to give us a little bit more information about this, we're going to turn over to Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau. Josh, thanks so much for sending this our way. And you know, I mean, at least 8 people from what I was reading have been duped so far.
You know, a lot of money involved with those orders, Jacqueline. Of course, anytime someone pays for something and it doesn't actually go to their front doorstep, that is an issue. But when we do see the pattern of complaints that we have noticed within the past month or so, that is incredibly concerning, because it means that the site is doing a particularly good job of getting in front of consumers in our backyard. And as we talk about so regularly, we only report on what we know. And yet at the same time, what we know is that the reports that we receive pale in comparison to the actual scale of the problem. So this Mike's Custom Shoes sounds like a great opportunity in theory, but unfortunately what they have proven time and time again is that they are unable to satisfy orders, and are not really working to resolve them, and also are operating out of an address that doesn't exist, which is in our service area, which is why we bring this information forward to the public. So we did reach out to them, responded to one of the queries that we sent their way, and then unfortunately they stopped responding altogether. So that's not typically what reputable businesses do,
Right.
but that's unfortunately the situation.
I mean, I would argue, especially with the Better Business Bureau, I mean, this is you guys are the guys you want on your team, right? As a small business owner, especially, I would imagine. So, yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's kind of red flag number one. But what you were just looking at, I'm going to head back over to their website, Josh, if that's okay, so people can kind of take a better look at what Mike's Customs looks like. So, I mean, at first glance, this looks pretty legit, right? So, custom made to order, best prices, high quality, look at these cool shoes, the whole thing. Can we chat a little bit about some red flags with this? So, incomplete contact information was one of them, questionable domain registration, vague policies. Just take me through the list here, if you don't mind, Josh.
Yeah, that Derby, Kansas address, that alleged address, is doing a lot of work here, right? What it's telling you is this is something that's smack dab in the middle of the country. This is a company you can trust because it's right there in your backyard. That unfortunately makes this a lot more believable of a site particularly for consumers in the Midwest, right? But anytime you don't have a complete physical address listed, that should set off some red flags, right? Just about.
Gotcha.
Even if you don't have a brick and mortar store, right? Typically, the company does provide either no physical address or a complete one. So it's almost like this in between, right? That is
Right.
attempting to create the sense that this is a local mom and pop kind of shop, and in reality, it probably has nothing to do with Derby, Kansas in the first place. The policies in question, anytime you're working with a new business, right? I know that the last thing you really want to do before you sign up to get that pair of shoes or that new product is to look through its policy page. But there's a reason probably you haven't heard of this company before. When they have policies that claim considerable turnaround times, and also at the same time, not a lot of information on what those refunds, those cancellations, what delivery guarantees are, that should set off some red flags and maybe caution you to prevent you from going through with that purchase, right? It's only a great product in theory until it actually comes time to legit, right? Or how are they going to get that product or that information to me? And what we're finding with Mike's Customs is that they're really not getting that product to their customer at all. And there's a lot of information that is passed along in those transactions. It's not just I paid for something and it didn't arrive. It's what is that information being used for if it's not being used to get me what I paid for.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this can cost people a lot, especially with some of the fancy designer shoes they were showing that are customized, quote unquote, to your foot. Right. So that is something that people will fall victim of. Also, I do want to chat about, if you've been victim of a scam when you make an online purchase, let's chat again about just reporting it to the Better Business Bureau's scam tracker. That's bbb.org/scam tracker. Always important to do so with that, right?
It takes all of 2.5 minutes, Jacqueline. I've done this myself many times over. And I can tell you that it feels good at the end of the day knowing that you are reporting something in the hopes that it will protect someone from needing to go through it, right? Anytime now, you look up this company until, if they are to make amends for the past misdeeds, when you look up Mike's Customs, you will see that we have issued an investigation into them, right? That is something that is incredibly helpful with how much people are doing their research online, which is fantastic. But anytime it's a new company, I've never heard of them before. Let me just do a little bit of research. The hope, right, is that this prevents somebody from needing to go through that experience. And I think the world would honestly be a lot safer of a place if we all came forward a little bit more with what we're experiencing. Because anyone in 2024 is really drinking from the fire hose with regard to scam prevention. But the important thing to do is to not go quiet with that information, to not accept that that's just how business is done. Because a lot of businesses operate with integrity and uphold standards. And sadly, this is a business that doesn't.
Yeah, so we went over a few best practices. Anything else you can suggest for not only this specific investigation that the BBB is undergoing, but similar investigations that perhaps you're looking into? I mean, this is all online, right? So again, there are some red flags to look for.
Yeah, we found in some of the reports that were provided to us that non-traceable payments were requested. So someone was asked to pay for products with cryptocurrency or digital wallets or prepaid cards. Uh, while ubiquitous and while widely available, these are payment methods that don't come with a lot of protection, right? So anytime you're working with a new business, it's a new product, it's a new environment, you want to have as many layers of security as possible to make sure that that experience can be as seamless as possible, right? So anytime you're using a non-traceable payment, sadly, you're not going to have those layers of security. So if you're going to go with a new route, right? If you're going to go purchase a product from a new company, always best to use plastic. If you have a credit card, that way you have that built-in security. And I know a lot of folks who reported to us said, they wish that they had made a note that that was a red flag that came across, their desk, and sadly they looked past it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, anything else you'd like to add, Josh, or does that pretty much summarize it for today?
A fake websites are a dime a dozen, Jacqueline.
Yeah.
We could come out with an investigation truly each and every day. I think that's sad that that's the state of affairs. But the important thing, right, is to be reminded that it's important to do your due diligence. It's not just accept that there are glossy images, there's a fake address listed, good enough for me. No, you
Yeah.
want to make sure you're going through additional layers before you provide personal and payment information to someone you've never met. And anytime
Right.
you're transacting online, that's exactly what you are doing.
Yeah, and that's what I try to think of. I mean, I feel like we perhaps some of us don't take internet transactions as seriously as we would an in-person transaction, but that's essentially the same thing, right? You may not see each other face to face, but there's also likely a reason for that too, depending on what business you're doing with whom. So.
It used to be that people, right, when they handed fiat currency to someone, right,
Right.
there was something more tangible about the experience. I'm gonna do my due diligence because I'm physically handing you something.
Right.
When you press a series of buttons, it doesn't feel the same way, and yet the information you're actually giving to the recipient is considerably more, right? You're providing your personal information, your physical address, in some cases, your biographical information. All of that information is really, really important to keep secure. So even if it doesn't feel as tangible or as meaningful or as significant as handing somebody a few dollars, person to person, what you're actually providing to that recipient, particularly in 2024, is a whole lot more.
Yeah, good call there. I always forget about that too. I mean, it's easy to just kind of forget. It's so easy now, so I think that's part of the issue at hand. But Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau, thank you so much for joining us at the Alert Center today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we'll chat again soon. All right, guys, we were just chatting with Josh with the Better Business Bureau just about this latest investigation that the BBB is looking into, and it involves a shoe company, quote unquote, called Mike's Customs. So something to look out for. They say they're based out of Kansas, and as we were showing you earlier, their website has a lot of different questionable things going on there at second glance. So we always want to make sure you do your due diligence at home to make sure you're not one of these, unfortunately, one of these people who get duped. In the interim, though, kind of switching gears now, kind of want to take a live look outside. A beautiful day out there. Let's look from our first national camera for you. A shot at the stadium there, gorgeous today. Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord says today expect mostly sunny conditions, a high of 71. My goodness, just gorgeous. Get outside today if you can, right? And then tonight he says partly cloudy with a low of 45. As we look further into the week, we're going to head over to our first national camera, and this is Wednesday. So the idea at this point is that Wednesday is going to be mostly sunny and breezy, a high of 84. So we go down today only to go up on Wednesday, unfortunately. And then Thursday, mostly sunny and breezy out there. So that's kind of a look ahead at what we can expect for our Wednesday and Thursday. Before we head out, though, I do want to take a quick look at 144th and Dodge. So again, not a cloud in the sky in this shot. So a gorgeous day today. Get outside if you can. Enjoy some iced tea, some lemonade, what have you. Maybe an iced coffee if you're not awake this afternoon quite yet. So yeah, looks like traffic's flowing smoothly out there. Also, do just want to mention, you can always get more information on several stories that we're currently working on our website. That's WOWT.com. We do have a breaking banner up on our website right here. Driver charged in fiery crash in downtown Omaha that killed 3. So if you click on this will bring you the breaking news story. We do have video of this for you with all the flashing lights, etc. And I'll leave this as a web extra so you can head to our website for more information on that story and several others. In the meantime, just want to say thanks so much for joining us at the Alert Center here. Really do appreciate you all tuning in, and we'll see you again shortly. If you don't stay tuned for this, though, please do visit us for our first broadcast, 1 to 3, with our Dave Zavolinsky. And until then, have a wonderful day.